Jack's secret life. For 3 long years, Jack Montgomery lived a double life. To almost everyone, and especially to his girlfriend, Sarah Jenkins, he was just a regular office worker. He drove a simple car, dressed in plain clothes, and talked about everyday problems. Sarah thought he made an okay living, enough to pay bills, but nothing special. She never saw the real Jack, the one who controlled a massive business empire. Jack was actually the hidden boss of a huge private company. His family had been rich for generations, and they preferred to keep their wealth quiet. This made Jack want to be loved for who he was, not for his money. That's why he kept his true identity a secret from Sarah. Sarah was a smart and very ambitious woman. She dreamed of building a big tech company. She had great ideas and worked incredibly hard, but she lacked money, important connections, and good advice. This is where Jack, in his secret role, became her silent helper. After his normal office job, Jack would spend hours working behind the scenes for Sarah's company. He would put money into her company secretly, using fake names and hidden accounts. He would gently push the market to help her products succeed. He would connect her with powerful people who didn't know he was the one pulling the strings. Sometimes he'd even give her important business information, making it seem like she just got lucky. He'd listen to her talk about her plans, and his innocent-sounding advice would actually be brilliant business strategies. He put up with her complaints about his small salary and her worries about money, knowing he could solve all her problems with one phone call. Jack believed his reasons were good. He wasn't trying to control Sarah, he was helping her achieve her dreams. He watched her become more confident with every success. He imagined a future where, after she truly made it on her own, he would finally tell her the truth. He dreamed of celebrating their success together, with no more secrets, and their love growing even stronger. He thought their love was strong enough for any big news. He saw himself as her hidden rock, supporting her rise, waiting for the day they could truly build a life together, not just a career. Sarah's success and Jack's heartbreak. Because of Jack's secret help, Sarah's company grew incredibly fast. She became famous in the tech world, seen as a genius who built her success from nothing. Magazines wrote stories about her, praising her hard work and smarts. Jack, still pretending to be just an office worker, would read these articles. He felt a mix of pride and sadness. He wanted to share in her public glory, to finally be seen as more than just her simple boyfriend. But as Sarah became more successful, things changed between them. Their shared dreams started to pull apart. Sarah, now used to a fancy lifestyle and lots of attention, began to see Jack's modest life as a problem. She started making comments, first subtly, and more openly, about needing someone who truly understands this world or being on the same level. Jack felt this change and tried to hint at a better future, but without telling her his secret, his words didn't convince her. Her focus on money and status was growing. The real betrayal happened quickly and painfully. One night, after a big industry party that Jack, as the office worker, had politely skipped, Sarah broke up with him. Her words were cold and practical, without any of the warmth they used to share. "It's not you, Jack, it's us. We're going in different directions. I need someone who can really be my partner in this new life." Within a few weeks, the real reason for her sudden breakup became clear. Sarah announced she was engaged to Alexander Sterling. He was the son of a rich family that owned many buildings, a true second-generation rich man. Alexander was everything Jack pretended not to be: flashy, openly wealthy, and someone who never had to work hard for anything. Sarah's public statements about finding true compatibility and a partner who understands my world were a clear insult to Jack. He watched, shocked, as she easily moved from being the woman who wanted to make it on her own to someone who embraced the safety and high status of inherited wealth. The 3 years of his quiet, selfless help, his countless late nights, his careful financial planning, all felt worthless, ignored by the woman he had lifted up. The truth comes out: Sarah's betrayal was like a fire, burning away any doubt Jack had about keeping his identity a secret. The idea of finally telling her who he was, once a romantic thought, now became a cold, necessary step. He was no longer a silent guardian. He was a man who had been hurt, left with nothing but the truth. The truth came out fast, and it hit Sarah hard. Jack started by slowly pulling apart all the hidden support he had given her company. Secret investments were taken back, hidden loans were suddenly demanded, and the important connections he had made for her were quietly but surely broken. He didn't do it out of anger, but with careful precision, only showing his hand when needed to untangle the complex business connections. Sarah's first sign of trouble came when her company, which had seemed so strong, started to crack. Supplies for her products became hard to get, Unexpected debts appeared, and important investors suddenly pulled their money out without any clear reason. Her past lucky breaks vanished, replaced by strange problems. The market, which used to favor her company, now seemed against her. Then came the direct confrontation. Lawyers for the secret companies Jack controlled suddenly demanded money back for unexplained funds. Financial experts he had secretly hired to advise her publicly stopped recommending her company, saying there was unexpected instability. Sarah found herself in a confusing mess, unable to understand how her once powerful company was falling apart. When the full truth about Jack's involvement was revealed, through leaked papers, anonymous tips to the news that showed his clear link to the mysterious helpers, and the massive scale of the company's financial collapse, Sarah's world crumbled. The self-made genius was exposed as a lie. The news, which used to praise her, now attacked her, questioning her honesty and business skills. Alexander Sterling, the second-generation rich man, quickly left her, not wanting his family's name ruined by such a public scandal. Their engagement was quickly called off. The public's opinion of Sarah dropped sharply. Her company, without Jack's hidden help, was almost bankrupt in just a few weeks. It was then, in the suffocating silence of her falling empire, that Sarah finally understood. The man she had thrown away, the modest office worker, had been the real reason for all her success. This realization was a bitter pill to swallow, mixed with deep shame and regret. A heart that moved on. Broken and desperate, having lost her success and her rich fiancé, Sarah did the unthinkable. She went to find Jack. She didn't find him in their old, simple apartment, but in a very nice, tasteful penthouse apartment looking over the bright city, a clear sign of the rich life she had so carelessly ignored. Her eyes, once so confident, now showed a panicked desperation. She started talking, a rush of apologies, explanations, and a desperate plea to start their relationship from the beginning again. She said she had misunderstood him, that she now realized what truly mattered, and that she was ready to build something real with him. But the Jack standing before her was not the man who had silently loved her from the shadows. The pain of her betrayal had made him stronger. He listened, his face calm, almost distant. Then, with a quiet strength that left no room for argument, he stopped her from talking. Calmly, "Sarah," he said, his voice steady but firm. Firmly, "There's nothing to start over. You made your choice. You chose status and perceived wealth over a real connection, over the man who stood by you through everything. My heart, it has no place for you anymore." His words, spoken without anger, but with a deep sense of finality, were more crushing than any shouted accusation. Sarah stumbled back, finally understanding that her actions could not be undone. The door was closed forever. Jack had truly moved on. New love and Sarah's last attempts. While Sarah was falling apart, a bright new chapter had already begun for Jack. Days after cutting ties with Sarah, he had reconnected with Eleanor Vance, his first love. Eleanor was everything Sarah was not: honest, kind, and drawn to Jack for his true self, not his achievements or what he could be. Their love had been pure and deep when they were young, stopped by circumstances and Jack's family duties, but never truly gone. Seeing Eleanor again was like medicine for Jack's hurt heart. Eleanor knew him, really knew him, without needing him to pretend. Their connection was instant and strong, built on shared memories, respect, and a spark that had simply been waiting. Jack embraced this new relationship with an openness and happiness he had never allowed himself with Sarah. He introduced Eleanor to his true world, his family, and his wide network of powerful friends, all of whom welcomed her warmly. They spent their days getting to know each other again, traveling the world, and building a future free from lies. Sarah, however, refused to accept her fate. Her desperation turned into a bitter obsession. She couldn't believe that Jack, the office worker, could move on so easily, especially with a woman who now openly enjoyed the billionaire's life that Sarah had almost had. She started to intervene in their relationship, sending anonymous messages to Eleanor, spreading false rumors, and even trying to publicly ruin Jack's name, hoping to break them apart. She hired private detectives to find bad things about them, followed them at public events, and even tried to use old connections to hurt Jack's businesses. Her actions, fueled by a mix of regret, jealousy, and a twisted belief that she could get him back, became more and more crazy and pathetic. But Jack and Eleanor's bond was too strong. They faced Sarah's desperate tricks together. Her attempts to sabotage them only made their unity stronger. Jack protected Eleanor from the worst of Sarah's actions, and Eleanor, secure in Jack's love and fully understanding why Sarah was doing what she was doing, simply felt sorry for the woman who had lost so much. A happy ending for them, a hard life for her. The story ended with a clear and fitting justice. Jack and Eleanor found an amazing happy ending together. Their lives were full of quiet luxury, deep connection, and shared dreams. They started new businesses together, traveled the world, and used their huge wealth to help others. They found happiness not just in their love, but in working together for good. Their life was a true example of a real partnership, built on honesty, trust, and a love that grew freely, without secrets or wanting only money. They truly enjoyed their billionaire's life, finding joy in simple moments as well as grand ones, secure in their deep connection. As for Sarah Jenkins, the woman who once led big companies and was famous in magazines, her fall was complete and permanent. Her company, without Jack's hidden support, eventually collapsed, leaving her with huge debts and a ruined reputation. Her second-generation rich man had moved on, and her attempts to get a new job were met with rejection everywhere. With no real skills beyond charming people and using others, and with her name now linked to scandal, she couldn't find any good work. The final, sad image of Sarah showed a life far from the glamorous world she once lived in. She was reduced to working as a janitor in a small company, cleaning floors and emptying trash. It was a harsh, humbling life, a daily reminder of the huge mistake she had made, of the true wealth, both money and love, she had so carelessly thrown away for a fake dream. Her burning ambition was gone, replaced by a quiet, constant regret. She was no longer an important player in the game of success, just a forgotten person on the sidelines, forever marked by her choices.